So you're at that point where you're looking for professional care for a loved one. And let's be honest, it can feel overwhelming. Where do you even start? Well, this guide is here to help. We're going to break it down and give you a clear path forward for your family. And that right there really gets to the heart of everything. Look, this is never about replacing the family's role. It's about strengthening it. It's about bringing in professional, compassionate support so you can go back to being a son, a daughter, a partner, not just a full-time caregiver. Okay, so before we jump into the solutions, it's really important we just take a moment to acknowledge the reality of this situation for so many families out there. It is such a profound act of love, there's no question, but it's also physically and emotionally draining. I mean, whether you're managing an aging parent's needs, helping a relative recover, or supporting a child, that weight is real, and it is absolutely okay to admit you need a hand carrying it. So once you recognize that need for support, what's next? Well, for most families here in Kenya, the answer is exactly where the heart is, at home. This is the big question, isn't it? The one every family has to face. And really, you've got two main paths. You can move your loved one into a facility, or you can bring that professional care right to them in the comfort of their own home. And when you put them side by side, the difference is just night and day. On one hand, you've got the disruption, the unfamiliarity of a facility where staff attention is always divided. But on the other hand, you've got the comfort and dignity of home. The attention is one-to-one, focused completely on your loved one. And here's the crucial part. You, the family, stay in control. All right, so we've established that home is the right place. But what does the right care actually look like? Let's dive into the actual services that can be brought right to your doorstep. This is the foundation. The day-to-day support, help with things like bathing, mobility, cooking meals, and just as important, simple companionship. And notice how the pricing is completely transparent and flexible. You book what you need for when you need it. No complicated, confusing contracts. But what if the needs get a bit more clinical? Well, that's where registered nurses come in. We're talking about post-surgery recovery, wound care, managing a chronic illness, all from a professional who's registered with the Nursing Council of Kenya right in your own living room. Just think about it for a second. The logistics, the stress of getting a loved one who has trouble moving to a physio appointment, it's a massive effort. This service just completely erases that stress. Certified physiotherapists come directly to you, making recovery from something like a stroke or a surgery so much more manageable. And the support also extends to some of life's most sensitive and challenging situations. These are areas that require more than just skill. They require immense patience, empathy, and dignity. From supporting a new mom to providing comfort in end-of-life care, there's a specialist who's ready to help. But of course, the best services in the world don't mean a thing if you can't trust the person providing them. And this brings us to what is probably the single most important thing for any family: trust. 50 plus. Now, that's not just a number to show off. It's about being ready. It means there's a whole network of qualified, thoroughly vetted professionals available to meet your family's needs, a lot of times on very short notice. And this is the result of that commitment to quality, a 4.9-star average rating. That comes from other families, people who are in the exact same situation you might be in right now. It's a powerful sign of the kind of compassion and quality you can expect. And how about this? 2 hours. When you need help, you usually need it now, not next week. This commitment to a 2-hour confirmation means you're not left waiting and wondering if help is on the way. You get answers fast. So you might be wondering, how can they be so sure about their caregivers? Well, this is how. It is a serious multi-step process. They check backgrounds, they verify every single reference and qualification, they test practical skills, and then finally, they sit down for an in-person interview to really gauge a person's character. Nobody walks into your home without passing every single one of these steps. Okay, so we've covered the what and the why. Now let's talk about the how, because arranging care shouldn't add even more stress to your life. It needs to be simple. It really is this straightforward. You just make one call or fill out a quick form. Then an expert personally finds the perfect caregiver for your specific situation. You get their details and profile within 2 hours, you pay securely with M-Pesa, and then care begins. That's it. Simple, transparent, and quick. And that brings us to the final and maybe the most important part: taking that next step. And it's designed to be as easy and comfortable as possible.
And I really want to stress this. Reaching out isn't signing a contract. It's not some high-pressure sales call. It's just about having a conversation, asking your questions, and getting some expert advice for your family's unique situation. Absolutely no pressure. This philosophy is just so important. It's not about trying to sell you a one-size-fits-all package. It's about listening. It's about understanding your needs, your parents' personality, your schedule, your worries, and then building a care plan that fits perfectly. And at the end of the day, that's what this is all about, right? Just imagine for a second, knowing that your loved one is safe, they're comfortable, and they're happy in their own home with a professional you genuinely trust. What would that feel like?
So, if you're ready to explore what that peace of mind could look like, here's how you can start that conversation. You can call, you can WhatsApp, you can visit the website. Whatever you choose, the promise is the same. No commitment, no pressure. Just help. Just a helping hand, ready to listen and find a solution that works for your family.